In the global theater of diplomacy, where every handshake and every agreement can alter the trajectory of a nation's development, President John Dramani Mahama's meeting with Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba during the TICAD 9 summit in Yokohama stands out as a moment that underscores Ghana's ambition to transform long-standing relations into tangible development gains. The summit, widely regarded as one of the most influential platforms connecting Africa and Asia, provided Mahama with the perfect stage to advance discussions on two of Ghana's most critical needs: value addition in the cocoa sector and the completion of strategic infrastructure, particularly the Volivo Bridge project that has lingered in planning for years. Before we dive deeper into today's update, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support is key to helping us grow and reach more viewers like you. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss out on exciting updates. At the heart of these discussions was cocoa, the crop that has long defined Ghana's economy, identity, and place in the world market. Cocoa is more than just an agricultural commodity for Ghana. It is the very backbone of the nation's foreign exchange earnings, the livelihood of millions of farmers, and a source of pride for a country that stands as the world's second largest producer. For decades, however, Ghana has largely exported raw cocoa beans while allowing others, especially advanced economies, to reap the greater rewards of processing and adding value to the crop. This imbalance has meant that while Ghana bears the toil of cultivation, pruning, harvesting, and fermenting, the real wealth creation often takes place outside its borders. And nowhere is this clearer than in Japan, where Ghana provides nearly 70% of all cocoa imports. Yet most of the value addition happens in Japanese factories, producing the chocolate and confectionery that consumers enjoy. Mahama, fully aware of this imbalance, saw an opportunity at TICAD 9 not only to speak about cocoa, but to redefine the conversation around it. By directly inviting Japanese firms to partner with the cocoa processing company in Ghana through a public-private arrangement, he was not merely asking for aid or assistance. Instead, he was offering an opportunity for Japanese companies to set up in Ghana, to invest directly where the cocoa is grown, and to participate in an industrialization drive that would create jobs, increase export revenues, and diversify Ghana's economy. In essence, he sought to change the narrative from Ghana being a supplier of raw beans to Ghana becoming a hub of processing, packaging, and global distribution. This vision, if realized, could transform Ghana's cocoa industry. Imagine factories buzzing with activity in Tema or Kumasi, staffed by thousands of young Ghanaians producing chocolate and cocoa-based products, not only for Japan, but for markets across the world. Imagine a Ghana that earns not just from exporting beans, but from exporting premium chocolate brands proudly labeled "Made in Ghana." Uh, Such a transformation would mean more than foreign exchange. It would mean dignity for farmers, stability for families, and growth for the nation's manufacturing base. And for Japan, the benefits would be equally clear: secure access to a crucial raw material, reduce production costs, and the goodwill of being a partner in Africa's value addition story, rather than a distant buyer of its unprocessed goods. But Mahama's mission in Yokohama did not stop at cocoa. He also turned Japan's attention to one of Ghana's most pressing infrastructure needs: the Volivo Bridge over the Volta Lake. For decades, the lack of a direct, reliable crossing between the farming-rich northern corridor and the bustling southern markets has constrained Ghana's economic potential. Farmers growing yams, maize, cassava, and vegetables in the northern regions have long struggled to transport their produce efficiently to the south, where the majority of consumers and exporters are located. The absence of the bridge means higher transport costs, longer delays, post-harvest losses, and a bottleneck that undermines both food security and trade. Back in 2016, Japan had already demonstrated its recognition of this need by committing over JPY 11 billion toward the Volivo Bridge project. It was a significant step, but as with many large-scale infrastructure projects, the funding has not been enough to move the vision to reality. Today, a significant gap remains, and Mahama's push during TCAD 9 was aimed at bridging this very divide. By advocating for additional Japanese support, he emphasized that the Volivo Bridge was not merely a piece of infrastructure, but a transformative link that could connect producers and markets, rural areas and urban centers, northern livelihoods, and southern opportunities. Its completion would symbolize the breaking of barriers, the removal of long-standing bottlenecks, and the opening of a new era of connectivity that could change the agricultural economy forever. When one envisions the Volivo Bridge completed, spanning the Volta Lake with modern engineering and sleek design, one sees more than steel and concrete. One sees trucks laden with yam bags moving smoothly across the water without detours, smallholder farmers finally gaining reliable access to distant markets, school buses carrying children across safely, and Ghana inching closer to the dream of balanced regional development. It is this vision that Mahama sought to place before Japan, not simply as an ask for funding, but as a shared investment in a partnership that could define the Ghana-Japan relationship for decades to come. Beyond cocoa and bridges, the meeting between Mahama and Ishiba carried deeper symbolic meaning. It was a recognition that the Ghana-Japan relationship has matured to the point where it is no longer just about diplomacy, goodwill, or cultural exchange, though those remain important. It is about transforming political ties into economic partnerships, about using history as a foundation for future prosperity, and about reimagining the relationship in ways that directly improve lives. Both leaders acknowledged the importance of strengthening cultural ties, particularly with upcoming anniversaries in the Ghana-Japan relationship. But the underlying tone was clear. The time had come to move from symbolism to substance. Japan, for its part, reaffirmed its commitment to assisting Ghana not only with infrastructure, but also in tackling broader development challenges. Discussions touched on multilateral issues, highlighting the recognition that Ghana is not only a key partner in West Africa, but also a player on the global stage. Japan's interest in deepening cooperation with Ghana aligns with its broader Africa strategy, where Tokyo seeks to position itself as a trusted partner distinct from other global powers, offering quality infrastructure, sustainable development practices, and long-term partnership rather than short-term gain. For Ghana, this diplomatic moment was not just about Japan's money or technology. It was about sending a signal to the world that the country is serious about reorienting its economic development strategy toward value addition and connectivity. By focusing on cocoa processing and critical infrastructure, Mahama highlighted the twin pillars of a development model that could carry Ghana into the next phase of its growth. Cocoa represents industrialization, jobs, and export diversification. The Volivo Bridge represents integration, mobility, and the unlocking of regional potential. Together, they form a vision of a Ghana that is not just surviving in the global economy, but thriving as a producer, connector, and innovator. The stakes are high. Ghana's young population is growing, demanding jobs, opportunities, and infrastructure that match their aspirations. Without significant shifts in the economy, frustrations could mount. But with bold steps like the ones Mahama outlined, the country can harness its youthful energy, its agricultural wealth, and its strategic location to create prosperity that is both inclusive and sustainable. Japan's role in this journey is pivotal. With its financial capacity, technological expertise, and long-standing goodwill, Japan is uniquely positioned to partner with Ghana in turning dreams into reality. Diplomacy, at its core, is about conversations that lead to actions. The meeting in Yokohama may seem like just another bilateral engagement, but in truth, it reflects a deeper strategy. It shows Ghana reaching out to transform the cocoa sector from a raw export industry into a processing powerhouse. It shows Ghana demanding the completion of infrastructure that will lift entire communities out of isolation. It shows Ghana leveraging international platforms, not for empty promises, but for concrete investments. And it shows Ghana insisting that partnerships must deliver jobs, opportunities, and growth. As Mahama and Ishiba shook hands at TCAD 9, what lay behind the cameras and formal statements was a recognition that Ghana and Japan share a future that could be richer, stronger, and more impactful than the past. For Ghanaian cocoa farmers in the hinterlands, for transporters waiting for the Volivo Bridge, for young graduates seeking jobs in processing factories, this meeting carries hope. Hope that diplomacy will translate into jobs. Hope that investment will translate into opportunities. Hope that bridges will connect not only land but lives. In the end, the story of this meeting is not just about Ghana and Japan. It is about what happens when a nation decides to demand more than the status quo, when it chooses to push for value instead of vulnerability, and when it insists that partnerships must serve the people. President Mahama's push for cocoa processing and infrastructure funding was more than a diplomatic agenda. It was a declaration that Ghana is ready to move forward, to climb higher, and to transform its relationships into engines of development. For viewers watching this unfold, the question is not whether Ghana will get there, but how soon and how boldly. And as history often shows, it is in moments like these, in meetings far away from home but close to the heart of ambition, that nations begin to chart their most transformative paths.
If today is your first time watching this channel or you are returning to this channel for the exciting content, please subscribe to the channel for more educative and developmental projects across Ghana and Africa as a whole. Do you want to know about the state of a project in Africa? Then make sure to like and comment the name of the project you would like us to talk about and its current state.